Let's talk about the classifying matter notes real quick. The objective here is to understand how matter is classified, okay, how we break it down. So we define matter as anything that has mass and takes up space. And matter can be broken down, it can be classified as three different things. Either it's an element, a compound, or a mixture. And so let's talk about each of those things. First of all, an element cannot be broken down into simpler substances by chemical means. So it's as simple chemically as it can get. And each element is made up of one kind of atom, and it's represented by a 1 or 2 letter symbol. And I've got a picture up here of a periodic table. If it's an element, it's on the periodic table. Okay? There's only a handful of elements. In a compound, we have 2 or more elements that are chemically combined together. Okay, so this is multiple elements that are bonded together. An example of a compound would be H2O. NaCl, which is table salt, would be another example of a compound. There's a lot more compounds in the world than there are actual elements. So there's a lot more combinations of elements. So a chemical formula is used to represent compounds. Anything that has a fixed composition and definite properties is classified as a pure substance. So elements and compounds are both classified as pure substances. Okay, the only way that you can separate them is, well, the only way you can break down a compound is by chemical means. We'll get more into that later on. But neither elements or compounds can be broken down physically. A mixture, on the other hand, can be broken down physically. It's a combination of substances that are not chemically combined. And there's really 2 types of mixtures. There's a heterogeneous mixture, a mixture that's not evenly distributed. An example of that would be a salad. The homogeneous mixture is a mixture that is evenly distributed. So salt water would be a homogeneous mixture. Now you can separate both of these physically. You could actually pick out the individual pieces of the salad if you wanted to. Salt water, you'd have to evaporate off the water, but those are physical means of separation. Okay, so they would not be considered pure substances. So everything is either classified as an element, a compound, or a mixture. And then we can simplify it a little bit more and say that elements and compounds are pure substances, mixtures are not pure substances. And so you are supposed to read pages 45 to 50 in the book and answer questions 1, 2, and 4 through 7 on page 50. And then you also need to put, and I put a picture of this in there, you also need to put this web in your textbook as well. So matter can be classified as pure substances, mixtures. Pure substances include elements and compounds. Mixtures include heterogeneous and homogeneous mixtures. And then it says below elements such as. That means we want an example, 2 examples of elements, 2 examples of compounds. Again, such as 2 examples of heterogeneous mixtures and 2 examples of homogeneous mixtures.